In this video, we're going to talk about the different ways that you can make money podcasting as you grow and develop your audience. A great place to start is physical products. You can create merch to go along with your show. Something using your logo is fine, but if you try to think of something that may resonate with a bigger audience that loosely ties into your brand, you may be able to use this as an advertising tool. Memes and quotes are a great way to do this. They can be created and edited to fit within your brand. They're inspirational and they're funny, and they go really well on different products like mugs, mouse pads, and t-shirts. Try to think of products that your audience will use either in the workplace or in a public setting, because then it will work as an advertising tool for your podcast. This definitely won't pay the bills until you have more listeners or you combine it with some of the other monetization techniques that we're going to talk about. But it's a great way to start, and your family and friends will love a way to support you. When it comes to creating your own products, you can use a drop shipping service or a print-on-demand service that will print your products and then ship them to your customers. When you start doing this, you can have your friends and your family just order directly through you, but as your show grows and you gain more listeners and therefore have more orders, then you might want to think about putting an online store on your website or using an e-commerce site like Shopify. Once you set this up, don't forget to add the stores to your Instagram page so you can reach that audience as well. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is something that you've probably already heard of: affiliate marketing. This is when you promote a link to a product and receive commission on any purchases using that link. Affiliate marketing works best when you use a product or service that you are familiar with, so that you can authentically promote them. Remember, your audience trusts you to make real recommendations. If your podcast is about eco-friendly living, then you may want to recommend a book that you recently read, or a product that you use, or a sustainable company that you really like. Reach out to those companies directly and see if they work with affiliate links. Now, our next monetization technique is something tedious, but very long-lasting, and this is to create a digital product. You can create something like an online course that fits within your niche. If you had a podcast on media production, you could create an online course on how to start a podcast. There are tons of online softwares to create and sell online courses. Check out programs like Udemy, Skillshare, and Thinkific. Let's put this into perspective. Say you have 500 listeners on your podcast, and you are selling a course that costs $40. If 1% of your listeners buys that course, that's 5 people right there and $200 in your pocket. And that number is only going to grow as your listenership grows. So this means that you can do this at the beginning of the creation of your podcast, and this will grow along with you. Another great option is transcribing your episodes and using that content to create a digital ebook. If you record through Riverside, you can get a transcription of your recording to make this easy. This is especially valuable if you have guests on your show that are super knowledgeable about certain topics. The next way to make money podcasting is consulting or coaching if it fits within your niche. Let's say you have a podcast on fitness or nutrition. You could offer paid consultation calls via Zoom, Skype, or Riverside to your listeners to help them create a plan and reach their goals. The next thing that we're going to talk about is sponsorships and advertising. So this is when a brand pays a podcaster to run ads on their show so that they can leverage that show's audience. They usually pay based on the number of downloads and where their ad is placed within the episode. When you're just starting out with your podcast, a great way to do this is by writing up your own advertising plan and going around to local businesses and seeing if they want to run an ad on your show. This helps you get involved with the community, and it'll also give you a portfolio of different ads that you've already run when you start to go and work with bigger brands. Now, once you've developed a loyal audience and you're starting to get a couple thousand downloads per month, you can start thinking about working with bigger brands. The best way to find these brands is with a podcast ad network. They'll connect you with advertisers, negotiate rates, get you the script, and more. Some to look into are Midroll, AdvertiseCast, and Podgrid. Offer premium content to listeners who pay a small subscription fee, like $5 or $10 a month. This gives you so many opportunities to connect with loyal listeners in a lot of different ways. Now, there are a couple ways to offer premium subscriptions to your listeners, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Apple Podcasters program. This is where you can offer a subscription to your show and offer exclusive benefits like having no ads. You can offer additional episodes, early access to episodes, and even access to archived episodes. It's $20 a year US to enroll, and you can offer any subscription price that works for you. And for the first year, you'll get 70% of the profit from those subscriptions, and any years after that, you'll get 85%. You can also use a platform like Patreon to facilitate this process with a video podcast. On here, you could offer things like a membership to a collaborative Facebook group, early access to episodes, Q&As, virtual hangouts, and you can also offer access to live streams and webinars. And that brings us to our next 2 points. Create a webinar that matches with your podcast theme, or you could host a panel discussion full of experts in the industry that relates to your podcast. If your podcast is on building an online business, you could offer a webinar or panel discussing actionable tips that you can take to build hype for your next product launch or event. You could make this free to promote your online course, or you could make this paid but give your members access for free. The great thing about this is that you can stream them both live, but then also record it so that you can sell the final video afterwards. You can also repurpose the content into short-form promotional material or even a full-length podcast episode afterwards. For both of these ideas, use a platform to either stream live or to record. With Riverside, you can share the audience link with people so that they can watch the live recording and use the chat function to ask questions and join in the conversation. We hope this video helped you think of some new ways to monetize your podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. And before you go, we have one more tip to monetize your podcast. Create a YouTube channel for your podcast and monetize through YouTube. Watch this video next to figure out how to put your podcast on YouTube so you can start monetizing your show.